In today's video, I'm testing out some new drugstore makeup products. Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, my name is Julie and I post mainly get ready with me videos focused on affordable drugstore makeup. I want to show you that you do not need to spend a lot of money to have really great makeup. So if that resonates with you, I would love for you to subscribe and become part of our affordable beauty community here on my channel. Over the weekend, I picked up some new drugstore makeup items, and I also picked up some things that are new to me. They're not necessarily like new items, but just things that I've been wanting to pick up for a little while. The first thing that I picked up, and this is new to me, is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And I've been wanting to purchase this for a while, but just was unsure like which shade I should pick up. And yesterday I actually was hanging out with April. If you guys remember her, Wanna Makeup, she had, or she still has her YouTube channel, but she just doesn't post on there anymore, or at least like not right now. But we hung out yesterday and we were shopping, looking at things, and she has this, and I asked her like what shade she uses, and she said that she uses 0.5 Fair. So that's the shade that I picked up. I know that some of you guys that are subscribed to April's YouTube channel, you guys ask me like how she's doing periodically, and she's doing really well. So we live probably about 45-ish minutes like away from each other. So we don't see each other all the time, but we usually hang out like every few months. So, but yeah, we had a really fun time. We went out to lunch to this new Mexican restaurant that's in town, and then we went to TJ Maxx, Target, and just hit up all the places. So it's like I know that whenever we hang out, we're definitely going to shop and look at makeup, which is always fun. So, but I know so many people rave about this, and everyone says that it's a dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury, but I don't have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless. I think that hers is like Airbrush Flawless or something. I never can remember what Charlotte Tilbury's one is called, but anyway. So, but I just wanted to get this tried out, see what the hype's about. But it's definitely really illuminating on the skin. It reminds me, at least finish-wise, of the L'Oreal Pro Glow. Just not, this is more of like my color that I would need, where that L'Oreal Pro Glow is kind of dark. It's more suited for the summer, the L'Oreal one that I have. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more of this. And it's definitely lightweight. Like for me, this would not be something I would wear by itself. But it doesn't necessarily look bad on its own, but definitely doesn't provide like the coverage that I would want. Okay, and I wanted to use it underneath Revlon Color Stay just because this is a more matte finish foundation, and this is my most like worn and favorite foundation. So just to kind of see, it'll give me a better opinion on this e.l.f. Halo Glow to use it underneath a foundation that I know I really like. And that's also matte, to see if it will provide some glow. So I'm just going to dot this around and then blend it out. And I'm just using my Wet n Wild, my dampened Wet n Wild makeup sponge to blend the Revlon Color Stay out on my skin. But yesterday the weather was so nice. Yesterday was Sunday, and it was just such a nice day to be out, like hanging out, shopping. I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting the weather to be as warm as it was. Like I think it got up like close to 70 yesterday, and it was like really sunny. Definitely a nice spring day. I'm so ready for spring. As you can see, the e.l.f. Halo Glow definitely created a very luminous glow underneath this Revlon Color Stay. Like, this looks like I could be using the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint with this Halo Glow underneath. So I really, really like that. So I'll have to see how that wears throughout the day, and I'll leave like a little note of how things wore. And then for my concealer today, I'm just using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I didn't have a new concealer to pick up, or that I wanted to pick up. So I'm just gonna pat out the concealer a little bit. And I'm trying to just use a little bit of concealer and then add more if I need it, just so I don't over apply my concealer. Trying to remember less is more. And then I'm going to take my makeup sponge and just pat out the concealer. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more concealer, and I'm just going to put it here, like kind of underneath the under eye. This is kind of like my trick if I really want the area to be a little bit more highlighted and lifted. Apply more concealer like underneath the under eye, like in between, like where it meets with your cheekbone. And I find that that method looks really light and like lifts your face a little bit, but it doesn't add a bunch of extra concealer to your under eye area where, you know, it can settle into fine lines. I'm just setting everything with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and my large Real Techniques powder brush. Just really been loving this setting powder. It's so good. And I know at first it's going to kind of mattify things out a little bit, but like once it sits on the skin a little bit, and especially after I use my setting spray, that dewiness will come back through. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more of this setting powder on my Damp and Wet n Wild makeup sponge, and I'm just going to pat that underneath the under eyes to set the under eye concealer. And I finally picked up the Vaseline Lip Therapy Rosy Lips in the little tub here. I've been wanting to get this for a while, and I swear every time I go to the store I can never find it. But yesterday, whenever we were at Target, I found it, so I went ahead and picked it up. Like, just from having the stick version, because I have the one in the tube here. I'm going to get this foundation off my lips and then reapply some more conditioner. But honestly, I don't see a difference really in the tub and the stick. I was thinking that the little tub here, because I had used my friend Abby, when I went to visit her, I used her little tub of this once, and I could have sworn that it had more color on the lips than what it does. And maybe like once I get more down in this tub, it'll have a little bit more color. But to me, it looks the same on the lips as the stick. Like if you see it in the tub versus the little stick here, I mean, like this one has really not much color at all. So I kind of figured the tub would have a little bit more color, but I don't really notice too much of a difference, even in the way it feels on the lips. But I do really enjoy this Vaseline Rosy Lips because it just does a really great job of moisturizing the lips, conditioning them before I apply my lip product, like my lipstick or whatever lip thing I'm going to use. Okay, so another new to me product that I picked up is the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil. I've been wanting to get this just because it's super affordable and I feel like a lot of people rave about it. So I ended up picking up the shade, oh, it's not on here, but it's just like the, I'll put it on screen, it's just like the regular brown shade, neutral brown or something like that. So it's like I already took everything out of its packaging before I started filming, so I wouldn't be wasting time taking things out of the packaging. But get my mirror slightly closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. But I did swatch this little pencil on the back of my hand just to like see the color and just see how the texture of the pencil, like how it was. And I was honestly surprised that it was a bit more waxy than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like an extremely soft eyebrow pencil, but it's really not. Like the consistency of it, at least when I swatched it on the back of my hand, seemed similar to my NYX Micro Brow. It's just that like this pencil obviously is not like a micro brow pencil. It's more of like an eyeliner pencil or something like that, like a retractable eyeliner size. But I definitely don't hate it in using it. And for like $3, that's, you know, if you were looking for a really affordable brow pencil option, this color seems to be pretty good on my eyebrows. It's not super warm or super cool. It's really in the middle there. And I feel like recently I've been kind of struggling with like finding a good brow pencil color, just because I think I told you guys that I had my eyebrows microbladed before, and like my microblading is really fading off, and so it's making my eyebrows look way more cool toned than they are naturally. So I almost feel like I have to find a more warm toned brow product to kind of counterbalance the cool toned effect. But I think this pencil is pretty good, like tone wise. Super easy to use. I like the spoolie on the end, so really like this. I know that they also have a waterproof version of this now too, and I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Lash and Brow Clear Mascara to set my brows in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer. On Friday, like last Friday, which by the time you guys see this video, it will be like 2 Fridays ago, one of you guys were telling me that Wet n Wild had a new eyeshadow palette in Gold Whip. So whenever I was out with April, I was looking to see if I could find it, and I think they might have 2 new palettes, but this was the only one that I saw, and I was like, let's get this. So I'm going to be using this today. You guys know how much I love these Wet n Wild Color Icon palettes. So first I'm going to go in with the shade here, and I'm going to put that all in my crease. And I'm just using this blending brush from an Amazon brush set. I'll have it linked below if you're curious, but just like a fluffy blending brush, just blend that shade in the crease. And this is a very light peach color, like more of like a yellowy peach. I'm going to take a bit more of that same shade on my pencil E30 brush from Sigma, and I'm going to blend that shade here on the lower lash line. I feel like this is one of those times where I should have put like concealer on my eyelids just to give that shade a little bit of a base. So just went in with like my sponge and kind of lightened up the eye right there. And it's like really on the lid, you could go either way. I think I want to use this shade here on the lid. This actually looks really similar to one of my favorite just like natural lid shades from MAC in the color green. It looks very similar to that, and I have the hardest time trying to find a good dupe to green. So if this is a good dupe to it, I'm gonna be ecstatic. Like, I know it's just like a basic just satin cream, but I'm telling you, that shade is like near impossible. Okay, it seems like this Wet n Wild shade, I feel like these swatches you're not going to see because it's literally like my skin tone. But if you look right here, Grain is like a little darker than that Wet n Wild shade, but they are very, very close. And it's like a true satin color, like where it's not too shimmery, or at least it appears that way. So I'm just going to brush that shade, the first shade in this palette, on the lid. Yeah, that's very similar. It's a little lighter, but I know like these types of like lid shades are really in right now, and I really like the look of this. Just very natural. This would be just so pretty to just, you know, set all over the lid and just use that as like a one and done shade. Such a light, just natural everyday look, those two shades together. And I was just using that same brush that I used for the crease to apply that color on the lid. And this has a lot of other pretty shades in here, like this pretty gold. Like, let me see if I can swatch it. I still have some of my foundation on the back of my hand here from where I blended out my foundation. But this gold is a really beautiful gold color. Just trying to do a swatch so you can see. I'm going to swatch these other colors. I will say that this palette seems to be a tad bit like softer and a bit more powdery than some of the other Color Icon palettes by Wet n Wild. It's very, very soft. Okay, so those are the other shades in the palette, like the gold. This is like a dark shimmery brown. And then this is just like that dark matte brown in the palette. So I'm taking an angled brush and I'm actually going to take this shimmery color. This is just my angled Essence liner brush. And I'm just going to smudge this at the lash line. And I'm going to wing that shadow up just a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do is that matte brown here on the end of the palette, the shade here, I'm just going to get it on the tip of this pencil brush. And I'm just going to smudge this here. If you hear any noises, Josh is up, getting ready for work. Definitely be sure to tap your brush out really well with these darker shades, because since those shades are really soft, like I don't know if you can see here with the darkest shade, hopefully it'll focus, like see all that powder, the kick up. So if you don't knock your brush off, that's going to end up falling on your face. Which I did have a little bit of fallout over here when I was doing that liner. And I think what I might do, because I just want to intensify the lid shade just a little bit, I might go in with my finger and just lightly apply that. So I'm just using my Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit in that highlight shade. I just like a really highlighted brow bone. I know that that might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I just like the way that looks on me. So you could totally skip this. I just find that it like lifts my brow up more. It makes my eyes look a little bit more open. And I'm going to take a little bit more of that and just put it here in the inner corner. But I really like how this eye look turned out. Just a really beautiful and natural looking everyday eye look. So I do really like this Wet n Wild palette. The shades are a bit lighter, especially like, you know, those first three are like a really light eyeshadow look. So, you know, if you're into not wearing a lot of eyeshadow or just into lighter eyeshadow looks in general, I think that you would really like that Wet n Wild palette. Like I said, I do think that the shadows have a little bit more kick up, a little bit more powdery and soft than their regular Color Icon palettes, or at least the ones that I have. That one does seem to be a little bit more powdery. Okay, I didn't get a new bronzer, so I'm just going to be using my e.l.f. contour palettes. And I'm using just a large powder brush from an Amazon brush set. It's like in the same brush set from the little brush I was using on my eyes. So I'll link it down below. But I've really been enjoying this brush for bronzing. Like the shape of this is just so good because it's kind of tapered, so it's a bit more precise to do like your blending here, like your contour, so it doesn't take it down too far. And then it works well up here along the hairline. You can turn it and just kind of dab it like this. I just really like the shape of this brush. It just blends bronzer perfect. So I've really been enjoying several of the brushes from that set. And that brush set from Amazon, if you guys saw my video last week, super affordable. Like that brush set, it has 18 brushes and it's under $10. So definitely cannot beat the price on that. And the brushes are such good quality. Like I haven't had any shedding issues with the brushes. They washed well the first time that I washed them. So I'm really impressed by the brush set so far. And then a new blush that I picked up is from Wet n Wild. And this is one of their Color Icon blushes in Naked Brown. It's kind of similar to Mellow Wine, which is one of my absolute favorite blushes from Wet n Wild. It's just a little bit more brown, where this one is a little bit more pinky. Like as you can see them next to each other, but I absolutely love Mellow Wine. So I knew when I saw this that I needed to pick it up. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. blush brush. And it is pretty intense. I mean, I feel like the Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes have good pigmentation, so I'm trying to just apply it lightly at first. But it's just a nice like rosy brown. It is a bit darker, I think, than Mellow Wine. But like a nice terracotta. And it is completely matte. Yeah, I definitely have to be a little careful with that blush because a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going back with like my makeup sponge to just kind of tone it down, and I might go back with like my setting brush. Just blend it out. But I do really like that color. It's a nice, just warm, rosy shade. It pairs really nice with red. Like it looks good with this dress that I have on. I'm just using the highlight shade from this e.l.f. contour palette just to do a light highlight. It's just like, for me, the same goes for like the brow bone highlight. I just like to use a highlight on the face, even if it's just like subtle, because for me it lifts my face a little more than if I didn't use one. I'm just going to set my face with my Urban Decay All Nighter. And then I'm actually going to do my lips before I do my mascara today, because I picked up the e.l.f. Lash Extender. Everybody has been raving about this. I have seen a few people not like this, but then other people that swear by this. So we're going to see which team I'm on, if I like it or if I don't. So I'm going to take this lip conditioner off, and then we'll go ahead and I'll figure out what I'm going to put on my lips today. And I was swatching some of my lip liners before I started filming this, and I think I'm going to line my lips with one of these Milani Statement lip liners, and I'm going to use this color in All Natural. And then on top of that lip liner, I'm going to use the Chapstick Total Hydration in Sunset Nude. I've really been into this Sunset Nude chapstick because it doesn't look like, it kind of gives the effect of a red lip, but it's not super intense. It's just more natural looking. So been loving that. Before I apply this e.l.f. lash extender, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes up. But this is a tubing mascara, and if you've never heard of a tubing mascara before, it's supposed to just like coat, you know, the lashes in like tubes of mascara. So like whenever you wash your face, at the end of the day, like the mascara is supposed to come off like in tubes. I mean, I've used some other, like I've used the Essence tubing mascara, and I haven't really noticed that whenever I wash my face with that one. But it's supposed to kind of seal the mascara onto your lashes so it doesn't transfer. And that's really the main reason why people like these tubing mascaras. And it's supposed to be really good for length, not really volume. So, and I do kind of like a mascara that's volumizing and lengthening. So I don't know, maybe I won't be into this. But the shade that I ended up picking up in this mascara is Soft Black. That was the only shade that they had available at Target. But this is what the packaging looks like, if you haven't seen that. And then this is the brush here. It looks very similar to the Maybelline Sky High mascara wand, and I really like that. Or also like the Essence Lash Without Limits mascara. Both of those wands are similar to this. Okay, definitely that first coat, don't hate it. It seems at least very similar to how the Maybelline Sky High mascara looks. And I think the brush on this might be a little bit more like stiff than the Maybelline one. Like I can feel the bristles like really combing through the lashes. Okay, the second layer, it's getting maybe a tad clumpy. So I wouldn't suggest to do a ton of layers of this mascara. I know that some of these tubing type of mascaras, it's like you can only really do one coat and just be done, or it gets clumpy. This left side's kind of working a little bit better. And if I really like this, I would also like to try the brown shade that they have in this. But they were completely sold out of the brown one. Okay, so that's what it looks like on just the upper lashes. And I have like really long lashes. I use the Grande Lash MD, like lash growth serum. And so that's how my lashes are so long. I swear by that stuff. But yeah, I think that this mascara is probably good for people that have long, thick lashes. If you have short, thick, or short, sparse, might not be your mascara, because I could see where You know, somebody that has like shorter lashes usually wants something with volume and not separation. Though I don't find this like not volumizing. But like I said, I don't think you can go in with a lot of layers of it or it gets kind of clumped up. Like my lashes were starting to clump over here. So, but I do like the effect of it. And it seems more of like a drier formula. But I will put a note in the video letting you guys know if it smudged on me, if it flaked, and like what my thoughts are about this mascara. But first impressions, really, really like it. So take my hair on my clips. Everything, like all the new stuff that I tried today, I really liked. Like with the brow pencil, I like it, but I'm still trying to decide if I really like that shade on me. Like, I know it doesn't look bad, but I've kind of been into my brows being slightly a little warmer, slightly a little darker. So, I don't know. But, I mean, I do like the formula and the way that it worked. It worked really nice. So, maybe I just might need to get a different shade, which I know that they don't have a ton of different shades in this. Really like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I think it provides like a very nice glow underneath Revlon Color Stay. And I definitely loved this eyeshadow palette. I just like how it creates such a nice, natural, barely there eyeshadow look. Really, my only complaint is just that this one seems a bit more like powdery than some of their other palettes. Really love the blush. This blush color is so, so pretty. Pairs so nice with that chapstick. And I really like the mascara. I think those were all the new things that I picked up, right? Yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this first impression, like me reviewing, hauling some new products that I recently picked up over the weekend. I hope that you guys have a great day today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Mwah.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.